Welcome back to Moose on the Loose, your source of uncorrupt media. My name's David. Today we have the most bizarre clip from Chrystia Freeland. She's in Toronto. She has essentially caved and given the city of Toronto $143 million to deal with, as you can see here, the shelter asylum claimants in Toronto. Basically, they have way too many people, overloading shelters. And the mayor here, you can see on the left, was basically threatening to increase property taxes dramatically if the government didn't give any money. Chrystia Freeland was just kind of sloughing it off, and eventually she has caved here. So I'm going to show you a few clips, and you'll see she keeps trying to scurry off the stage, and they keep pulling her back on, and then she makes the most bizarre statement ever.
That has invested as much in the city of Toronto as our government, and I think all of us are proud of that. Thanks.
Don't go anywhere. I have a follow-up question for you. I know you're pointing to sort of the greatest hits of funding that you've been supplying to Toronto so far.
It's quite a lot of money.
I agree.
Like these are non-trivial sums,
right,
and non-trivial projects.
Of course, but we are talking about a budget year where the city does have to, set this in case at this point. When you have, I know a lot has been made about the
She's so twitchy and she's so nervous.
You have an MP behind you who accused the mayor of lying during this process and is shaking down the federal government. You also had an MP up there with you before who said that there were no refugees in the shelter system. I've heard directly from people who were disputing that and saying that these MPs have directly alienated the work that they have done in the city. So when you are coming here, presumably at the 11th hour to get rid of this 6% tax increase, how are people not to look at this as a cynical thing of you being dragged kicking and screaming into doing what you're supposed to?
I don't think you see me kicking or screaming right now. I think you see all of us.
Previous 2 weeks, people would say that was different.
Again, I disagree with the characterization. I don't think the people want the federal government or the finance minister to write big checks lightly. I think the people of Canada expect our government to invest in Canada and Canadians, to invest in cities, to invest in housing, to invest in transit, to invest in our jobs, all that. They want us to do all that, and we want to be sure that we are doing it carefully and thoughtfully. And that's what we do. So, there has been a lot of thought that has gone into this, a lot of thought that has gone into our comprehensive relationship with the city of Toronto.
So she's just going to keep babbling here, but you can see that the reporters came prepared and just grilled her. Now, this is towards the end of the video, but the question period had just started here, so they were just basically grilling her from the start. If we jump ahead...
In a careful, responsible way. That's what we do. Thanks.
Sean Jefford, CBC News, Toronto. Deputy Prime Minister, question for you. Also for my colleagues at Radcan, so if you could respond in French, that would be appreciated.
Ça va.
Wondering about the difference in tone here today compared to the last number of weeks, and following up on my colleagues' questions. You're talking a lot about cooperation, and the tone of this event today is dramatically different than the tone of the communications between the governments over the last number of weeks. Why did that have to happen? Are Toronto residents to take from that this is very much a relationship that is a work in progress and frankly is troubled?
Quite the contrary, and maybe the mayor wants to say something. Do you want to say something first, Mayor? Okay, let the mayor say
Hey, Mayor, how about you get up here and answer? I don't want to answer the question.
something first, then I will too.
En anglais, sûrement.
So they basically ramble on here. It's a bunch of nonsense. But so the next clip, now you kind of have a sense of what's going on here. The mayor speaks, and then she comes back and babbles some more. Check this out.
C'est toi projet. Merci.
Deputy Prime Minister, one other question for you about the new deal between the province and the city. Got an ask for new subway cars and continued help for shelter and supports. Is there any commitment from the federal government to sit down with the province and the city and have those discussions at this point?
Okay, thank you very much. I would say the mayor and I talk to the province all the time. I think both of us are perhaps unlikely friends of Premier Ford, but I would certainly call him a friend. I've heard the mayor say the same thing, and he's said that about both of us. Maybe he has a special fondness for small women. Who knows?
What the heck is that?
So, we have a...
What kind of answer is that? A special fondness for little women. Is this a deputy prime minister, or is this... Oh, God. I can't believe this person is that high up in the chain of command in Canada. Unbelievable.
Working relationship, working with the City of Toronto, and so are we.
All right, last question, dernière question.
Ben Spur from the Toronto Star to the Deputy Prime Minister. You've spoken a lot today about building the relationship with...
She can't get away from it. She can't. Oh, God, this is so weird. One more time.
And he's said that about both of us. Maybe he has a special fondness for small women. Who knows?
Why would you say that?
So, you know, we have...
Why would you say that? It's so weird. It's the weirdest thing I've heard anyone ever say in Parliament. I'll spare you from her voice and her riffraff. You know what she says. It's just a bunch of nonsense and filler words and garbage, and she talks really slow. It's all the same thing. But I thought I'd throw that in. It was pretty funny, really stupid. But yeah, that's where we're going to leave this episode, guys. Hope you stay warm, stay fed. I've got the warm jacket on here. I am now cooking, which is really nice because it is really cold in here. So I'll link this up if you guys are interested. Not sponsored, this company. This is for my hiking channel. Yeah, I got some new stickers and hats and stuff coming out soon. I'm trying to work on getting a different supplier and better prices and with new designs and all sorts of stuff. So stay tuned for that. Stay warm, stay fed. I'll see you guys in the next one.